And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another episode of the Talkin' NASCAR podcast. This is Talkin' NASCAR podcast, episode number 95. And obviously, Hitmaster's back, baby. Woo, yeah, baby. Gary's
Yeah,
back. Woo.
finally with a good microphone this time.
That's right, baby. We got a lot to talk about on this week's episode. Bristol is in the books. The Xfinity playoffs are set, and the first round cutoffs were made for both trucks and the Cup Series. So we'll be going over who made it, who didn't, and everything like that. And we'll be going over the full Xfinity playoff grid as well, like we did for the other two series. We got some silly season news to talk about as well. And there's another drink review today, so that's cool. And then at the end, we'll preview this weekend's action at Kansas. So should be really good. But yes, I do have a drink review. I already recorded it. So yeah, here you go. Coming to you now. Okay, so hello everybody. This is past Pringleson talking to you from this Talking NASCAR episode. I got this drink, Fanta Haunted Apple for Beetlejuice movie. So I'm recording this the week prior. I'll probably explain it in the episode. I probably already have. But I didn't think it was crazy enough to just do a short on. But Apple Fanta, I think it should be good. So why don't we just see if it is any good compared to the other apple pop that I've had, which is Thrapple, which is amazing. Let's see. If I can open it. Give it a whiff. That is a very strong. Doesn't really taste like apple. Smell like apple. Well, I guess it kind of does. Smells like an old store. Really. Smells like an antique store. Gobble it up. It tastes exactly as it smells. That's a rarity. Well, now I know what the smell I'm smelling when I walk inside like a candle store, like a Bath and Body Works. I know what it is now. It's this. Not as good as Thrapple in my opinion, but honestly, not bad. Probably give that one a good 7 out of 10. Alright, folks, back to the episode. Alright, that was the Apple Fanta review. Hope you guys liked it. It was okay. After the fact, now I can say it was okay. Anyways, let's get right into it though. First with Bristol, the Truck Series. So I did not get to watch, but it was an alright race from what I saw. Connor Zilisch took a spin to end the second stage. But really there wasn't a whole lot of other action until late on in the race when Leland Honeycutt and Daniel Dye got together. And that was big because remember Daniel Dye was one of the drivers on the bubble for cutting into the next round of the playoffs for the trucks. So this pretty much knocked him out of that completely because he wasn't able to continue and was by far the worst finishing driver in the playoff grid. So knocked him out. There was another spin on a late restart. That set up a late restart for a late dash to the finish, but it didn't really affect a whole lot as Lane Riggs picked up his second straight win in the Truck Series and swept the round pretty much. Swept the first round of the Truck Series playoffs. So congratulations, Lane Riggs, on the win there. Getting some good momentum for next season. We already talked about Daniel Dye was eliminated from the truck playoffs, though. Ben Rhodes also joined him in the elimination room, so they are the first two out and will not compete for the championship. We'll go over what the new grid looks like for that later on for the remaining 8 drivers that are in the playoffs. As for the Xfinity Series, a lot at stake here. Well, I guess not a whole lot at stake. I mean, we talked about it last week, but going in, I mean, we knew Ryan Sieg was the only one that could potentially even make it in on points, but he would have to be a very long shot to do that. And so really nothing changed for the Xfinity Series. Like, Sieg did not run well at all, and none of the other drivers that were fighting to get in really did anything crazy. There were some drivers that needed to win that had a decent run going, but again, they needed to win to get in, and they didn't do it. But it was an alright, good race. Cole Custer hit the wall on the first lap. Not too hard though; he was able to keep going. Green blew a tire, caused a big wreck, collecting Parker Retzlaff and Justin Allgaier, who was dominating the race up to that point. So he had some issues, but he was able to rebound and still get a pretty decent finish. But now, go away. There we go. Otherwise, I mean, it was able to get going good. Parker Kligerman spun in stage 2. Justin Allgaier, after rebounding from that first wrecked again. This time ended his night. So pretty rough stuff there. But at the end of the day, Cole Custer was able to rebound from his wreck and actually pull away and win the race. So good work there for Cole Custer. And yeah, Ryan Sieg out of the playoffs. Sammy Smith gets the final spot. We'll go over what the playoff grid looks like, but nothing really shifted or changed from last week. So as far as standings go, obviously the points range changed, but you know. And then the Cup race, the night race at Bristol. Oh boy, here we go. John Hunter Nemechek went around early, but other than that, wasn't a super heavy wreckfest night. As far as playoff drivers go, of course they're fighting for the cutoff. Harrison Burton, surprise, surprise, did not make it in. He had mechanical problems that ended any chance of him. He was out of the race for most of it. He came back, but he was too many points down and just could never rebound. That's probably the least surprising thing we could say going into the playoffs was that he was not going to make it because it's Harrison Burton. So, sorry. He had a good run in Atlanta. Then he blew that tire at Watkins Glen and then this. So, oh well. Corey LaJoie's night. Corey LaJoie's night was going really, really well until the second stage when he went around and wrecked. He was running in the top 10 when that happened as well. Joey Logano went around. He had a he had a pretty rough night. Most of the playoff drivers did have a pretty bad night. Not necessarily just like a lot of wrecks, but more so just poor runs in general. A lot of drivers were just running mid-pack to the back of the pack, and just really could never really get anything going. A lot of drivers, and Daniel Suarez had a pretty bad night. Kyle Busch, he's not in the playoffs, but he had a not great night either. A few others did too. But at the end of the day, Kyle Larson put on one of the most dominating performances we've ever seen at Bristol, leading, I think, about 80% of the race, maybe more than that, and winning in dominating fashion. Nobody could really challenge Kyle Larson all night. I mean, Alex Bowman had the pole, but he fell back pretty early on in the race. And after Larson took the lead, nobody could catch him. Just kind of how it works. There's a lot of criticism about that, though. I mean, if you remember the spring race, there was a ton of tire fall off. Tire wear was terrible. Surprisingly, the night, though, that race was not bad as far as tire wear went. Tires held on pretty well. But my God, was it boring. My Lord, was it boring. Obviously, we know Bristol has been, I think Bristol, like I said, Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond have all taken huge hits in quality since the next-gen car. And necessarily with Bristol, I mean, there was a lot of good racing going on. There was just not a lot of not a lot of wrecks, not a lot of action. I mean, Larson was unchallenged for most of the night, and it just really never contended. So a lot of people are not happy about that, including Dale Jr., and a lot of other fans. So, what are you going to do? So, as far as the 4 drivers that were eliminated from the playoffs, obviously we already talked about Harrison Burton. Brad Keselowski is a surprise to me that he was eliminated. I thought it was going to be... I thought he was going to run a lot better. I thought he could at least make the second round. He didn't even come close. Was way out. Martin Truex Jr. in his final season also got eliminated. Poor runs just really plagued him at the end of the regular season and in the playoffs as well. Took him out of really any chance to win. So that really, really sucks. He will not win the championship in his final full-time season. And then lastly, Ty Gibbs, just a few points out of making it in to the second round. But he was eliminated. Thank God. Thank God. We don't need Ty Gibbs in the playoffs. Okay? Just like Harrison Burton. We don't need him. Don't need him in. Don't need him in.
No, Harrison Burton deserves to be the champion.
True.
But he's in a bad race car, so
True. But that is the 4 that were eliminated. So, here we go. I mean, as far as the race weekend goes in general, the trucks were pretty boring, it seemed like. The Xfinity race was probably the best one, only because there was kind of a shake-up in the action up front with Allgaier getting in some wrecks, even though he had probably the best car all night. The Cup race was extremely boring. But I guess that's what it is with modern Bristol. So they're going to have to probably fix the racing surface at this point, because the car is not going to fix itself. So. But I don't know if you have any other points to talk about with Bristol before we move on, Hitmaster.
Chase Elliott did a pretty good job this week. Didn't expect that.
He did.
So I'm very... Now, people are saying that he might get eliminated next round. Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who cares?
True. Yeah, who care? Who care? Didn't ask. Anyways, that was Bristol. So we can just put it in the books. We're going for a Hitmaster ride.
Whoa. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I just have to get in my normal spot because I have the chips right here, so.
Okay. We'll get to the playoff grids a little later on in the video near the end. But we gotta talk about some silly season news first. There's pretty big stuff this week. This news came out after this first piece of news came out before I recorded the last week's episode. I just didn't see it. But Nick Sanchez is going to Big Machine Racing in 2025. So good work there for Nick Sanchez, I guess. I don't know. One of the bigger ones, Corey LaJoie and Justin Haley are doing a ride swap. Corey LaJoie is going to be going to the 51. I assume for the remainder of this. It said for the remainder of the season, but he was still in the 7 at Bristol. So I assume Kansas on is going to be his runs with that car in the 51. And Justin Haley is going to go to the 7 for the rest of 2024, and he's got the full-time ride in 2025. So hopefully, maybe he actually has a good run in I don't want to say a good car, but a decent car. Better than a Rick Ware car, let's just say that.
I mean, Zane Smith has done good in the 77, so I mean.
Well, even like I said, Corey LaJoie was set up for a top 10, maybe even a top 5 at Bristol before he wrecked. So, like, still had some decent runs.
Yeah.
And that's with Corey LaJoie. Just imagine if you put an actual good driver in the car.
Not on super speedways.
True. The other thing, Harrison Burton's future was also decided. He's going to the 15 car in Xfinity Series, a.k.a. the same car that Haley Deegan got fired from.
we don't talk about her anymore. Shut up.
It happened. Okay, gotta know it happened. That's where Harrison Burton's going. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's probably the worst possible ride that he could have gotten, but at the end of the day, it was also probably the best option that he had for ones that would take him. So, you got to work with what you got, I guess. So, there we go. There's also some sponsorship stuff going around. Geico announced that they are stepping down as the main sponsor of NASCAR after the 2024 season concludes. They have been on as a main sponsor since around, I think, since it became just the NASCAR Cup Series. I think it was around 2019 or 2020 or something around there. They've been there for a while. But they've also been in NASCAR as a sponsor for even longer than that, going back to the Germain Racing 13. So it's going to be kind of sad to see them go. You know, and even back then, they were Xfinity Series sponsor before that. So they've been around a while. We'll see if they have any other further presence. It just says they were stepping down as the main sponsor, so they could, I guess, be still signing with a specific team, but that is still to be determined. So, and also more stuff going on with FedEx and their sponsorship with Denny Hamlin. They announced that they are further reducing their sponsorship and a potential full exit from sponsorship with the 11 car. But right now it just says reduced sponsorship, though rumor, like I said, the whole full exit thing is still a rumor. This has been going on for a while. FedEx has been slowly backing out of their long-time deal with Denny Hamlin. It's going on. This is year number 19 with them for FedEx. And I guess I want to say at the 11 car, this is year 20 because they were with the 11 car in Cup the year prior before Denny Hamlin went full-time. So it's one of the longest partnerships with sponsors still left. I think the longest one, actually. But they're further backing off. No word on how many races they're going to do, what's going to replace them as a sponsor. I mean, it is Denny Hamlin. He can get pretty much any sponsor he wants. However, don't know yet. So, there's also, speaking of more rumors more going around. Rumors, I guess, resurfaced about a junior motorsports cup team based on Dale Jr. was very vocal at Bristol this weekend about everything. And so he made some stuff about it's just like, you know, NASCAR is not necessarily his top priority, but also he still wants to be involved. He did run the Bristol race for Xfinity. Ran pretty well, finished 6th. I mean, that's not terrible for not racing for a while. So maybe that reinvigorated some interest. Who knows? There's this whole thing going on with the charter situation right now. So maybe that's going to prevent it. Who knows? However, we'll just have to see. There's nothing definitive. It's all rumors, like we said. So, oh well. And then the only other piece of news that I've got is a NASCAR L, very, very big NASCAR L right here, saying that they are going to be using Ticketmaster for ticketing going forward. This is a fat L. Ticketmaster is a huge monopoly, okay? And they are bad. They're bad, right?
I don't know why they could just...
This is apparently because SMI, who basically owns NASCAR at this point, said that they was already using Ticketmaster, so they just want to be universal and pair up with the other major sports when really it's just Ticketmaster's a fucking monopoly and they want to be even more of a monopoly. So that's why. They match every ticket price they always match in fees, so it's always double the price of what it's advertised. And they can do that because they're the only site that works. And that really, really sucks. So that's going to be awesome. Can't wait for my MIS ticket next year to triple because, Ticketmaster just feels like it. So that's awesome.
And I usually have to get 3 tickets for MIS, so this is gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But that's all I had. Otherwise, I don't know if you had any other talking game points, Master.
No. I can look to see what Corgan Oil did and all of that, but I mean, nothing really.
All right. Well, as we I'll pull up the standings and we'll go over the points standings for all 3 series now. And then we'll get into our Kansas preview. That is not what I want. Why does it look different? Why does it look different?
Oh, Wasso Speedway has 9+ stuff. Huh. Wasso Speedway has a lot.
True.
We're trying to find.
Why will you not pull up the playoff standings? God damn it. Okay, you're just being stupid. Okay, so for the Truck Series, down to 8 drivers as they move into their second round. In 8th is Grant Enfinger. 14 points ahead of him is Taylor Gray. Tyler Ankrum is 2 points ahead of Gray. Then Rajah Caruth in 5th, 10 points above him. Ty Majeski with another 23 points in 4th. Nick Sanchez moves up to 3rd. He's 5 points above that. Corey Heim in 2nd. Add on another, that would be 17 points. And then, of course, sitting at the top, Christian Eckes in the top. So, pretty simple stuff there. And then for the Xfinity Series, as they move into their playoffs, Parker Kligerman is actually seated in 12th. Sammy Smith, 3 points above him in 11th. AJ Allmendinger, another 5 points up in 10th. Just 1 point above that. Sheldon Creed in 9th. Riley Herbst in 8th, another 3 points ahead. Sam Mayer, just another point ahead of that in 7th. Jesse Love, 2 points ahead of that in 6th. Shane Van Gisbergen is 4 points ahead of that in 5th. Chandler Smith in 4th, 7 points ahead of that. And then another point to Austin Hill. And then 3 more to Cole Custer. And then sitting at the top, 6 points ahead of that, Justin Allgaier. It's a pretty stacked playoff grid for the Xfinity Series. There's a lot to look at here. Pretty much any driver can really do it. I think Parker Kligerman is now what we now know will be his last season where he's really going to contend for a championship. What can he do? He's in the playoffs. He's had really good runs lately, but he's not been able to get that win. So what he's going to be able to do there? AJ Allmendinger, another vet. What is he going to do? Riley Herbst, kind of jumping into some ride uncertainty next season. What's he doing? Maybe he can at least start Haas off on a bang. Shane Van Gisbergen, kind of a sleeper driver going into this playoff. He's got the 3 wins, but they're all on road courses. Of course, there is a road course in the playoffs, so he could advance past the first round with that. But still, what could possibly come of that for him? And then, of course, Austin Hill, the super speedway guy, but he's picked up some decent runs here and there as well to get up to that 3rd spot. And then it's Justin Allgaier, really the biggest point of experience here, what he's going to do for our championship. So it should be a very interesting Xfinity playoffs to watch, for sure. And then the Cup Series. So after eliminations, Chase Briscoe in 12th, Alex Bowman in 11th. He had a really nice first round, Bowman did. Daniel Suarez sits in 10th. Austin Cindric is the last driver below the cut line in 9th. He was having a really good run in the... maybe he can carry that over to the next round. Joey Logano in 8th. Chase Elliott in 7th. Denny Hamlin 6th. Ryan Blaney 5th. William Byron 4th. Tyler Reddick 3rd. Christopher Bell 2nd. And, of course, Kyle Larson in 1st. So, definitely a lot.
I have a feeling Kyle Larson's going to make it to the next round. I have a good feeling. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Probably. You know, he had that. He wrecked at Atlanta. Didn't have that great of a run at Watkins Glen. But Bristol put on a show. We'll see what he can do going into the next round. So, those are your standings going into the next round. Talk about Kansas now. All 3 series are racing. Hitmaster looks to be in some very visceral pain.
So this is what my headphones look like. So sometimes when right fell and landed on the top of my foot. So I'm in sheer pain right now. I haven't checked my phone to see if it still works. That, and also the cup that has the chips in it also fell on my foot. So now I'm still in pain.
Rest in peace.
Ow. I didn't want to I didn't want to curse out loud, so that's why I just held my breath.
Damn. It's rough. Anyways, though.
Phone still works. We're good.
Based. Alright, so Kansas. All 3 series are racing this weekend. It was a pretty good series, pretty good racing weekend last time they were in Kansas. Kicking off the second round for Trucks and Cup, and first round for Xfinity. So we'll see what craziness can transfer over to there. Who do we think's going to win the truck race?
I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton. He's gonna get a win, and continue his streak that he has. I don't know if he has one, but
I don't think he does. I'm gonna go Rajat Caruth to win. I thought he won at Kansas last time they were there. Maybe I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like he's due for a win. I like him too. So that's what I like for that one. And then the Xfinity series. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick.
No, Corey Heim was the winner of the Kansas race last time.
Oh, okay.
Rajah Caruth finished. You never know. He started 4th, qualified 4th, so did good.
I'll pick Cole Custer to go back to back and get the opening round win at Kansas and lock his way in. I don't know if that's necessarily what's going to happen.
On the CW.
However,
I honestly think that it's going to be Mr. Austin Hill that will win and be a surprise to people.
That would be interesting. That would be an interesting win. Anyways, now it's time for Cup. Now, I want to say before we pick the chips, I was really hoping that Shane Van Gisbergen was going to win at Watkins Glen, not just for my fantasy reasons. By the way, picked Denny Hamlin in fantasy at Bristol. Got me some good points, but we need a win at this point. Does not really matter. Anyway, but I was hoping Shane Van Gisbergen would win, not just because I picked him in fantasy, but because if he had won and Chris Buescher still didn't have a win, I was really going to root for him to win at Kansas so that he could get that comeback win from, being at the bad end of the closest finish in history. And that would have just been cool, but he won at Watkins Glen. So, I mean, I'm still not going to root against Chris Buescher, but I kind of want a new winner. So, just wanted to say that. All right, here we go.
All right, just remember, after this year, I have to get rid of the Stuart Haas racing drivers, sadly. But there will still be more to come. And Tyler will get for 22, Joey Logano.
Kill me now.
And I pay. No, you don't need to be killed. I need to be killed.
Hey, you got a past winner there.
But you know what we also did?
Damn.
Your number is one lower than mine.
We're number neighbors.
Hey. We couldn't even get a Hendrick driver. I wouldn't even care if I got freaking Ryan Blaney. Just freaking these chips. I tell you, I paid good money for that. Not really. I just paid $5 to get them. But
hey, $5 is $5. So
I don't even know how many freaking do I have, honestly? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I figured out
16.
how to do that. 16 chips, that's it.
Yeah.
God
I
have
have the 2 right here.
You need to set up a
3, 4.
GoFundMe so you can buy more at the MIS race in June. So we can get like a full fleet
Bro,
to
I
pick from.
would, but they don't. I'm not even kidding. I looked to see if they had freaking Christopher Bell, and I asked the lady, "Do you have the 17?" And they go, "No, we just have 6." I'm like,
Then why didn't you just get the 6?
because I already have the fucking 6
Oh.
right here.
Oh. Well, you could try other haulers.
Only hauler that had Christopher Bell, or just say Christopher Bell. What's his name? Chris Buescher. There we go. The only one that had Chris Buescher was the BK Racing. Brett. RFK. Oh my god, I'm dying. This is why this is being gone for a couple podcasts turned into like.
Hey, sometimes you just got to be part of the rehabilitation process. It's okay. You'll learn.
That just proves that 95 episodes I've almost brain farted every single chance I got.
Got to have some constants, you know?
5 more until 100.
That's right, baby.
Didn't think we would get this far.
We're going to be getting... Let's see. That's going to be... Let's see. 100 is going to be what race? That's going to be Martinsville? No, not Martinsville.
It's nothing bad.
It's a week before Martin.
If nothing, like... Hold on. So we have Kansas. This is 95. 96 will be Talladega. 97 will be Charlotte road course. 98 will be Las Vegas, Homestead, and then Martinsville.
Oh, so
So
Homestead.
100 would be Martinsville. going in to the
No, it'll be
championship race.
Homestead.
So number 100. No one, because
No.
this is Kansas.
96,
This week's Kansas.
97, 98.
So next week will be 96.
Oh, right. Yeah, it would be. No, it's going into Martinsville. Homestead going into
Right.
Martinsville. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comment down below what you guys want us to do for the 100th episode. We're hoping for good ideas. So
Maybe I'll re-download NASCAR Rivals on Switch, and then we can race each other.
True. Well, I gotta buy the game first.
I thought you had NASCAR Rivals.
No, I played it on Ann's Switch.
Oh.
Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Talking NASCAR podcast. If you want to be a guest on the Talking NASCAR podcast, all you got to do is join the Pringleton Company Discord. Link is in the description down below. Request the Talking NASCAR role for both me or Hitmaster. We'll figure out a time to get you on and talk some NASCAR. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video as well. Stay tuned for much more amazing content between both me and Hitmaster. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.